Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Mike,
Hi there.
yeah, Mike? Can you hear us, Mike?
And hello, good
Hi
evening.
there. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
how are you guys doing?
We're great.
We just started. Let's have a few words. Mother, Father God, as we come together here today, we ask for an infinite line of protection. We place round and through each and every one, that only the highest and best will come forth in our thoughts, words, and actions, and through those thoughts, words, and actions, that it leads to a better understanding of our own selves. And when we meet those on our path, we have a better understanding of them. We give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
So we are recording, so, and I'm going to talk a little bit before we start, because we're going to do a rose meditation tonight. And I'll probably be talking about 4 or 5 minutes before we start, because if anybody comes in after 5 minutes, they won't be able to get in, because I don't want to be interrupted in the meditation. So, and does anybody here have a favorite color of red?
No. Okay.
Well, it takes care of one thing, but okay. You'll find out later on why I asked that and everything. But I found with this meditation, it sort of lets you know where you are on your path and some of the conditions and issues that are going on, and concentrations you're going to have to sort of develop yourself. You know, self-realization is a step in mediumship and psychic development, and one of the main purposes of psychic development is to know thyself, you know, and to be able to act in accordance with that knowing when you do come through issues. And there's so many conditions that we have within our soul, you know, and the definition of our soul is that all your past life experiences are in your soul. And if they all talk at one time, we'd probably be lunatics. And so it comes out in people that we meet, places that we do, and the feelings that we have, the effects that we have. And we teach here that the effects that we have in our life we are caused by those effects. We are the cause of those effects. And I found that the Rose Meditation has a way of igniting the understanding of that and everything. And besides, it's always nice to be able to have some kind of a different meditation. And parts of this, of the parts of the Rose Meditation is an exercise of developing your clairvoyance too, which is one of the gifts of psychic abilities of knowing thyself. And clairvoyance is clear seeing, and you're able to develop that ability. The clairvoyance is actually controlled by the pituitary gland, and that is one of the ways that we perceive psychic ability. Another one is intuition, and the center for intuition is actually the pineal gland, and that's the knowing part of our being. And one of the difficulties with intuition that it's always the best, but it doesn't always make the sense. When you get hunches to do this one, that don't make any sense at all. But when you find out that you didn't do it, it would have made sense if you did it. And then when you do it, you find out that you had quite a bit of a benefit by doing that and everything like this. So I found out a long time ago, when I get some nutty thoughts, I just follow through with them, and they work okay and everything. Especially if they're upside down and backwards. Everything. It usually works out pretty good. So. Any intuitive questions you have tonight?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else coming into you.
No. I'm usually just concerned. Let's take that.
Well, she come in at 12. Then one person tried to come in the self-realization class at 12 o'clock. Okay,
Okay.
great.
Oh, here's Annie in right now.
Well, I might want to go through that again. Where is she? There's one more person coming.
That was her. Okay, there she is.
Hey, Annie, is your favorite, do you have a favorite color of red? Annie?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
No, we can't hear her. Her speaker's off, but we can't hear her. Her audio is not working. So she's not gonna be able to respond to you.
Oh, there she goes.
Something Reggie said, she's
Oh.
texting you.
Huh?
That's not gonna work. We'll be able to sit here and chat with her.
There she's back now.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Is your favorite color red?
I still don't understand. So red, I hear about something red.
Is your favorite color red?
Oh. Sometimes it
All
changes.
all the time.
Not all the time, no.
Okay. We're going to do the rose meditation tonight. So this, everybody, just take a breath of relaxation. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. But know that as you inhale, you are relaxing. You are igniting relaxation in your being. Just relax. As this relaxation moves gently in and around and through your body, as this settles in your feet, you relax. With each noise that you hear, you go relax, relax. And this relaxation now is moving toward the ankles and up the legs, feeling all tension, frustration, and nervousness leave. Just relax, relax. As this relaxation moves up to the knees and the thighs, feeling all tension, frustration, and nervousness leave. Just relax, relax. All that you sense, feel, and hear, you'll be able to retain and utilize in your life. Just relax. As this relaxation moves to the hips, relax the hips. Relax. Each breath allows you to go deeper and deeper into your relaxation and be knowing that all you sense, feel, and hear, you'll be able to retain and utilize in your life. Just relax. As this relaxation moves up through the stomach and up the spine, just relax. As it moves up toward your throat, just relax. Relax. As this healing breath moves from the throat to the face to the very top of your head, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, you are relaxing. Relax. Just relax. As you are in this relaxed state, I want you to picture, feel, think, or see of a red rose in a bud state. In a bud state. Notice that, see it, or feel it, or sense it. And as you notice that red rose in a bud state, allow it to open up very gently. This is not a race. Just allow it to open up very gently till it's fully bloomed. Allow it to open up slowly and fully until it's fully bloomed. And when this red rose is fully bloomed, you notice the petals, the fragrance of these petals, and the fragrance and the presence of those petals. And then I like to place it to the left, and then I want you to visualize, see, feel, or think of a rose in the bud state of your favorite color. Of your favorite color. This is not a of logic. It can be any color whatsoever that you feel is your favorite color, and allow that to be in a bud state. And as that is in that bud state, allow it to open up to its fully bloom. Just take your time, allow it to open up to its fully bloom. When your favorite color rose is fully bloomed, notice the petals, the fragrance, the aroma, and the feelings of those petals. And as you are noticing your favorite colored rose fully bloomed, and you notice the red rose in fully bloom, I want you to merge them together, bring them together, and remember the feelings and the sensations as these two roses come together and be one. And these two roses become one. If the colors change, let it happen. Remember the sense and the feelings and the feelings that you have when these two roses become one. And when you are noticing that oneness, I want you to feel and see the images in the colors that come forth with that. Just be aware of those two roses as they are one. Now, as you have this one rose now, place it into the heart area. Place it into the heart and we're going to leave it in the heart for a few moments. Just be at ease and relax with that rose in the heart area. I'm going to leave you here for a few moments and that when we come back, we'll go somewhere else. Very gently now, allow the rose to come out of the heart area. Remember the feelings and the sensations as the heart, as it leaves the heart area. Noticing anything changed with the rose, the colors, the feelings and the sensations. And when you notice that rose outside of the heart area, I want you to notice that it's becoming larger, larger and larger and larger, and larger and larger, large enough for you to be on the top of that rose. If you want to lie on the rose, feel free to do that. If you want to move with the petals, feel free to do that. If you want to go to the stem and explore, feel free to do that. But I'm going to leave you here for a few moments on the rose. Take advantage and enjoy. very gently now, wherever you are, find yourself back on top of the rose, remembering all that you see, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed and keen. As you find yourself on top of the rose, very gently now, come down from the top of the rose. Find yourself moving very gently off the top of the rose and down, and noticing the rose, the feelings and the sensations as you notice the rose. And you notice that rose forming to its normal size. And it moves to its normal size. Remember the feelings and the sensation that this rose is igniting within you. Remember the feelings and the sensation as the rose moves to its normal size. And when the rose gets to the normal size, notice your feelings and sensations to retain with you. And as you notice that rose in the normal size and everything, you notice your favorite colored rose and the red rose become a part of you. And I want you to choose one of those roses, the red rose or your favorite rose, and notice it dissolving, going back to the bud state and dissolving. And when that rose goes to the bud state and dissolves, then go to the one that's left over and allow that to go to its normal size, to the bud state and dissolve. When those both are completely done, remembering all that you see, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed or keen. When those two roses are fully dissolved, open your eyes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to share that experience with each other. I'm going to ask Kim to go first. How did you do in that, Kim?
I really enjoyed that. It took me to a place that I never been before. So trying to go back, I guess, in our past lives, I felt like all of a sudden I was like on this rose, like almost like a magic carpet. It was all surrounding me, and I was kind of going through, and I got to almost the whole Lewis and Clark on the when they started on the river.
Mhm.
And then I was part of that journey when they were going out west, and I was helping along. And it's like when a tire would break, I would like throw my pedal, and then my pedal would fix the tire or fix the metal, their wheel. And when people were sick, I would give them a pedal. So I was kind of like this person who was going through out west. It was so real. Like I was just on this journey, but I was like, I could just, and I'm not sure where the whole Lewis and Clark came from, but I was there. I was, and then it was like when we got to these big mountains, it was almost like, how do we do that? And I was just like on this rose, and they would just follow me through near the water. It's really neat.
When it was in the heart, what kind of feelings and sensations did you have when it was in the heart?
A lot of gratitude and really just kind of helping. Really, it's like a lot of love and hands around me, and so I was feeling a lot of support.
When the rose came out of the heart area, was there any changes to the heart, to the rose?
I felt it was bigger. Like when you talked about it going bigger, I felt like my heart was bigger. I could expand more, and really, in my thought was helping people.
Okay. What happened when you were on the rose?
I was kind of like leading. I was guiding everyone where to go, and I was again being that helper, being that leader, and just when things weren't going correct on the journey or went wrong on the journey, I guess I was the one who helped fix it.
I want you to remember that because that's what you're going to be doing in life. You're going to be clear. Okay. When you put the red rose and your favorite rose away from each other, which one did you close up first?
I actually closed up my green one first.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you the significance of it because the other ones will change their expression. After some, I'll tell you what the significance are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was my first time. I love that.
Enemy, how'd you do?
Well, I went into very deep, almost like falling asleep, but I could still hear you and I could hear everything. But I was surprised because I usually can see a lot, and this time it was more just about feeling. But it was very important because once I merged the two flowers into one, and especially once I put in the heart area, I started seeing the energy of a person I have to deal with. And I didn't want to. I don't even want to have to approach this person, but that softened up the energy that, I'm already thinking is going to be problematic, and feeling the flower energy in my heart is like, well, maybe not. It doesn't have to be that way. We both love our son, so it doesn't have to be that way. So that helped me to soften up. But I think I went into very deep, almost falling asleep because I was just very tense about it. So all the tension was coming out and it was just stronger than me until I allowed the flowers to move and kind of take over all the energy.
What kind of feelings did you have when it came out of the heart area? May not remember that.
I just felt like if I approach things in a loving way, I have more chances of things working out better. Everything.
Did you do any explorations on when you was on top of the rose?
Yes. I think that's when I started to feel like I was falling asleep because I felt like I was being, like surrounded by the petals, like going deep, 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 deep. So as I went deeper and deeper, I went deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to be careful not to fall asleep. But again, I could hear the noises, air conditioning and everything. So I knew I wasn't sleeping. I just went into a very, very deep state because right now I'm totally awake. I'm not sleepy. So it was just during the meditation.
Which rose did you close up first?
Mine, my favorite color, which was the second one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, how'd you do?
I did well, I think. I felt relaxed. It felt like a good meditation. I don't know. What questions do you have?
Okay. How did it feel when it went into the heart?
It made me feel, I guess, less anxious, less kind of concerned or stressed about stuff that's going on in just the day-to-day stuff.
When the rose came out of the heart, did anything different? Was the rose different?
The rose was bigger, and the feeling of less anxiousness persisted.
When you got on top of the rose, what did you do?
I just sat amongst the petals and just kind of existed in the rose, just feeling the smell, looking at the colors, feeling the rose petals.
I'll give more significance afterwards on these. I don't want to guide anyone else to change their expression right now. I found out, I've been doing this meditation for about 40 years. And everything. I know what happens when I tell the significance. People have a way of changing their expression. And everything. Which one did you close up first?
I closed the red one first.
Oh, very good. Okay. Thank you. Sabine.
Okay. I initially I had all these flashbacks of events, and it started with my mom's 80th birthday event, and I felt like I was there again, but looking in from, you know, above on the room. And I did notice all the flowers and just the warmth of the room and the togetherness of family. I then went back to my dad's funeral, but it felt good because of who was there, and again of it was a celebration, and it just felt very just love and warmth and kindness and just of family, friends. All it just came back down to family and friends and different events that would just pop into my head. And then when I was on top of the rose, it brought me to my mother-in-law's rose garden. She has a beautiful rose garden, and her rose garden are mostly shades of red and white and pink roses. But I was on top of the rose, and I was little. She couldn't see me, and she was tending to her garden. And I was helping her, but the roses weren't those shades anymore. They were all kinds of bright colors, everything, all the colors that roses are, like mostly orange, red, white, pink, all the shades of red. And just the roses kept growing taller and taller and taller as I was helping her tend to the roses. And then after that, yeah, when it got, you know, when it came out of the heart again, also the heart bigger and just this nurturing and just a lot of love and nurturing, wanting to embrace everybody. It's love, holding hands. I saw a big circle of holding hands, and the circle got bigger and bigger with more and more people. And I think that was mostly it.
Which rose you close up first?
I couldn't decide. I kind of wanted to keep my favorite one open, but I ended up closing my favorite one first.
Okay.
It took me like back and forth for a while.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rachel.
See, I started with I just saw a patio brick, and I felt like I was in this older conservatory type of space, and then I saw it was kind of hard getting into the depth of it initially. I felt like a lot in my head, and then I heard "get out of your head," and then I looked down and at the rosebud and let it grow. And then when it came to the favorite color rose, it took me a second to see the colors, but both of the roses were kind of variegated in color. And then bringing it into the heart, I felt my anxiety go away, and all of this go away, and just kind of, I felt very centered.
What'd you do when you was on top?
When I was on top, I looked up, and there was like a bright blue sky with puffy white clouds around me. I was outside, and then I stood up and I started dancing on it, and I became a fairy. And I really noticed my wings were like the iridescent dragonfly colors, but then they were the shape of butterfly wings. And I looked around, and there were a bunch of butterflies and bees and hummingbirds, and I started to fly around with them. And I felt like I was just spreading a lot of color around, and I felt a lot of energy and vitality and sprightliness and kind of like the big burst of youth energy. And I just saw a lot of painting and a lot of coloring over white spaces, and it was very colorful and youthful energy.
Which one did you close up first?
The red one.
Thank you. Reverend Ernestina,
That was a little different than we were used to having, but it was very, very nice. When I put the two colors together, I ended up with a variegated colors. And then when I put that in my heart area, it was such a wonderful, loving, nurturing sensation. So much energy, good energy, healing energy, a lot of vitality, becoming more stable. So that I really enjoyed getting those feelings and vibrations of that. And then when I made it get bigger and I was in the middle center of it and then I came out, it was really interesting because it's like I became an animated rose. And it was like I was really tall with the stem became the legs and all that. So it was very interesting to watch that because it was almost like I became like a child and I could have fun. So I enjoyed watching that part of it. So what I really got out of it was the vitality and the energy and the healing part of it, that I really enjoyed that within my heart area.
which one did you close up first?
I had so much trouble with that when I actually got done with it, I ended up with the red mixed with colors that my favorite color in it. So it really wasn't a complete red rose when I was done. It had like splashes, very thin splashes, like a hint of my favorite color in it. So I guess I closed up my favorite color first. But it was like I didn't want to let it go, so.
Okay. Reverend Angie,
Ask me the questions. I'm like, where was I? Okay, let's just say when we were with the red rose and I was experiencing the red rose, that was very nurturing, and it always connects me with family. It always connects me with my grandmother, with her rose garden. And then we got to my color, and the petals were thick. I mean, they were both very healthy roses, and I was seeing all the veins and porous, the thickness of the rose close up. And so I noticed that feeling of what that was, and that being, more strength, and when I connected the two together, the two really blended in such a way the colors just started to blend a few different colors. This one was a real bright pink that I had, and but they went different hues. And when I put it to the heart area, that was so nurturing for me today. It was just like, it was just, it was though I was with all. And the allness was just very enriching for me, and felt super good. I didn't really want to come out of that space. But when I did, the hue around the rose it had like a gold essence around it. Like it was it protected, like there was a protection around the rose, and had gold speckles all over it too. So that was different. And when I started to travel on the petals, I too was kind of like a child where I had like that invigorated energy, and I was kind of skipping around and going to different areas because I knew the strength of the rose. The rose was really strong. And went down into one of the coves of it and then got really like sleepy and wanted to just rest. And got in there and I was surrounded by all things. Like I felt like it was all ancestral, just a lot of protection there. And so I felt really safe and at peace. And got back, you know, started waking up, coming around, got back up on the pedals and just looked around. Just felt really good, like an accomplishment of some sort. And so I just sat there and I felt really good about it. And what pedal I closed first was mine, my color.
Okay. The red rose represents the outside influences in your life. Your favorite color is your exposures to yourself. And when, let's see, how many of you closed that one up first? Your favorite color rose. Let's see.
Our favorite color, right, David?
Yeah. Mhm. The Kim, you did it. Emily, you did it.
Me too.
Sabine, Ernestina. Mike, which one did you close up first?
I closed the red first.
That's a good one. However, if you're going to have anyone there, if you close the red one up first, you're paying more attention to your experiences. And if you close yours up first, I would suggest that you spend a little bit more time with yourself and get the changes that are going in there and the authority in your life. Because you're letting outside influences be too much of an authority in your life. And this is a change in development, you know, and I found one thing, you know, Reverend Ernestina and Reverend Angie has taken this before, so they knew what the red and the favorite color was. So,
Can I say something?
yeah.
We forget every
We
time.
forget every time.
Cause
We write it
I'm like,
down.
which one is it?
Yeah,
Which
but
one is it?
but
again?
Ernestina said it was different.
Yeah.
So that
This
tells
was
me
a
that she's
different
different.
meditation.
But
Yeah.
she's different. See, that's the sign that you're different.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't remember what the deal was with that. And we've done it, gosh,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
probably like six
6
times.
times.
And you know,
Yeah.
paying more attention to yourself is not a negative thing, you know, it's just that there's a change going on within you to pay more attention to yourself
Yeah.
and to do the hunches that you have, the perceptions that you have and do that and everything like this, you know. And I would, you know, that there's an exercise in here that helps clairvoyance. You know, I have people that want to do it to get their clairvoyance more clear and everything like this. I would have them picture and visualize a rose in their favorite color and open it to the count of 10. If it opens up before the count of 10, start all over and concentrate until you get that rose to open up to the count of 10. And then hold it to the count of 10. If it closes up before that, start all over. This is an exercise not only in development, but also in discipline. And when you open it up for it and hold it, and then close it for the count of 10. Until you get all three of those counts of 10s in there going, then what will happen is that your clairvoyance will be more active and you'll be able to utilize that not only with your eyes closed, but also with your eyes open. And when you go into places, your clairvoyance will give you senses and feelings of it, what is best for you or not. You know, we have a body that's very sensitive to the world that we live in. And once we can start communicating with that, when you go to a place, your stomach tells you exactly if it's the best place for you or not. And everything. And that's part of our development and everything like this, you know. And the ones who close the red one first, you know, you're paying more attention to yourself than you are to others, and that's okay, you know. And what's going, and I feel what happened when that is that there's something coming up where somebody in authority or something like this is going to try to have you change your mind on something, don't do that. Stick to what you are doing in your attention and everything like that. And so there's quite a bit of development that can be done with this, you know, and once you've done a meditation, you know, you can always do it again. You don't have to have someone tell you what to do. You can take different parts of this and do it, you know. This took about 15 minutes to do and everything. So the opening and closing the rows may take 4 or 5 minutes. And if you don't, if it doesn't get done with those three, don't give up on it. Set it aside and do it the next day. And work until you get 10, 10, 10. And what I usually do, I go 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. And then what that does, if it opens up too fast, I just start all over again. And if it doesn't happen within 10 for 4 or 5 times, don't just give it up and do it the next day. But anything you do with that area is going to open up your clairvoyance, and your sensitivity is going to be more active. You're going to be able to you use the insight that is available to us. Okay. Any comments or questions?
I had a very strong, like, I mean, I ended up with closing my favorite, but I kept wanting to blend them and close it as one initially, and it kept pulling me to close them as one, but I had to close one, so in the end, I picked my favorite color.
Well, then spend more time working on that. When you get quiet, tell them you are blending. And you're the one that's going to blend it. The outside influences are going to blend it for you. You are going to blend it. And that's by taking more time with yourself, you'll be able to do that. That's a very good place to be in the classes that you're taking and everything. That's exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to blend the 2 roses, somehow I saw this tree that is my favorite tree. We had a couple when I was growing up, and it's a purple jacaranda.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find. I haven't seen it here. So I had to force myself to, you know, I enjoyed it, and then I kind of went back to the roses. But first, when they started merging, I went back to that tree from my childhood.
I would go back there a couple more times.
Okay.
But there's something of significance there that will unfold again for you.
Okay. Thank you.
So interesting, every time it changes. And the way it changes. Amazing.
You know, one of the things that people say in meditations, you know, is that be careful on what you use, because some people may be allergic to things, you know. And I've never asked anybody who's allergic to roses. And I have never had one be allergic to this meditation.
Pretty deep
Yeah.
feeling.
And you know that you each one of you know you can do this on your own. I wouldn't try to do the whole thing, you know, but there's certain aspects of that you can do, like the opening and closing, you know, bringing them together, you know, to let you know how the outside influences are doing in your life, you know. And I found that the developing, you know, is that it's important that you pay more attention to your understanding and your doing than the outside experiences or representations, you know. But basically the outside influences are something that you are anyways. You know, every person you meet represents who you are and everything. And so what we want to do is that we want to form an understanding of ourselves and not be like anyone else. But also that takes a lot of development and everything like this, you know, because some people can be a little bit disturbing when they do that. And we don't want to be disturbing, you know, like when a person becomes more confident, they think they're arrogant and everything. And so we work with wisdom with this. And everyone has their own definition of wisdom. And I can't tell you what it is, but you know what it is.
We'll have it recorded on our chapel's website also, so if you guys want to just review it again and, you know, whenever you want to do it again, it'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next week's class?
Order,
Order.
order, for 2 weeks. We'll have order.
Okay.
Aaron, I believe, is the first one on that one.
That's the one of the 12 powers.
Yeah.
And then I am power after that.
Yes.
You got that.
Mhm.
You can get quiet and get more of your influence on that.
Yeah.
One more step.
She's saying, I am, yes.
Any other comments today?
I really enjoyed that, David. That was really nice. Very unexpected.
Okay. Mike, where are you from, Mike?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yep.
Welcome to Tucson.
How did you find us? Do you mind me asking?
It's a long story, but a friend of mine referred me, so I'll leave it at that. I grew up in Tucson anyway, so Tucson is not that far from me.
All right,
Well,
welcome.
it was nice to see you.
Thank you
That's
for
my
having me.
hometown, Michael, is St. Louis. That's where I'm from.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, thank you all for coming and taking another step in your development. Just close some closing words. Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for sharing each other's presence here today. And as we go on our path, let us extend the love and the protection that's in and around and through each one of us to that path, so the highest and best will manifest in our lives. When we meet those on our path, let us extend the love that is abundant. We give thanks. Amen.
Amen.
So this class is going to be on the
YouTube, our YouTube channel on our website. Or just go to YouTube and go to United Fellowship Chapel.
Mhm.
Whichever works.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.